Alright guys, welcome to part 2. We're moving on in the attack. Cloak Banshee here, hitting these Thors, but scanner sweep, beautiful scanner sweep by ESCGoOdy. Now, I've been calling ESCGoOdy, but it could be Goody. To be honest, I never thought about that, so it might be Goody. Here you go, a little bit of knowledge for the day, but I'm calling him ESCGoOdy because he has a capital O in the middle of his name. I don't know, some people just change and write capitals in the middle of the name because they just think it looks cool, or because that name was already taken. So anyway, let's get into the battle here. LiquidTLO moving in all of his forces, quickly getting decimated by these nicely set up siege tanks, but this Banshee here from LiquidTLO able to do a bit of damage. And yes, down goes ESCGoOdy's forces, but he does know that this expansion is up. The expansion taking not much damage at all here. And we see that another expansion is coming down from TLO. Another. Wow. TLO expanding again. ESCGoOdy going for quite a bit of Hellions. It's probably because of TLO having quite a few biological units and the extra damage put out by Hellions versus biological units. ESCGoOdy going out for a bit of scouting. Will he see it? He does see the expansion coming down. He's going to go in and will he go? And he's going to do a bit of damage. LiquidTLO just has a Marauder there. And yes, the SCV does come down. And that means that will not have any building. And so far, TLO not pulling another SCV off just to continue the construction on this fourth building here. And here we see a bit of an attack, a little small push in here. And will he be able to do it much damage? He will be. The biological units taking a huge amount of damage from those Hellions. They all go down though, but siege tanks and Thors a little too much. This is going to be a bit of damage that TLO is going to have to deal with. Oh no, and here comes down auto turrets. These auto turrets are going to be able to start attacking and do a bit of damage, and they will force this siege tank to attack that auto turret, and that will cause the splash damage, does damage friendly units. So he will do a little bit of damage to his own units. TLO doing anything he can to hang on, stimpacking these Marines, but no medevacs coming out to assist. 10 health is taken away every time you use stimpack, not energy, but health. And this siege tank up here doing a good amount of damage, and down comes LiquidTLO's forces. Will he be lifting off this orbital command? The orbital command's not being lifted off. Here it goes. It's going to be pulling away. Some siege tanks taking some damage here. Good attack by ESCGoOdy, quite a bit of pressure. That's pretty much his only mining base, almost mined out over at this base over here. Only 4 mineral patches left, and they probably do not have much minerals in them. And a fifth base, a fifth command center now coming into an orbital command. The supply depot will be taking quite a bit of damage here and will go down. LiquidTLO again harassing with a cloaked Banshee. Will he scanner sweep? We're not seeing any scanners. There comes the scanner sweep. This Thor will be focusing on it. Will he take down the Thor? No. The Banshee goes down first, and here comes down the Thor. And LiquidTLO able to take out the last of that force. But more sitting in the back here. More siege tanks. More Thors. 2 Hellions here. These Hellions are going to be able to see the expansion coming down. He's going to be flying this expansion over to try to deal some to get this minerals being mined again. But these Hellions here just going to sit here and wait and see. And no, he will be landing here instead. Vulnerable spot, but with proper defense, you can fend off any attacks. Supply depots, bunkers along this, siege tank lines, all able to defend this expansion here, and pretty much your entire 3 or 4 bases here, except for, you know, the little entrance here. Another mining base going into a planetary fortress mode. I think LiquidTLO at this point is fearing more pushes coming on from ESCGoOdy. ESCGoOdy with his factory heavy units putting down these siege tanks into siege mode. They will be dealing a good amount of damage. LiquidTLO not pulling out and will probably be losing his entire army at this point. Let's go look at his army. His army. Wow, he's in a bit of a situation. What units does he have? My oh my, LiquidTLO has a variety of units. Scanner sweep going down with this harass again, trying to harass all he can with these Banshees. This battlecruiser will go down from ESCGoOdy. TLO, but not much of an army for LiquidTLO. TLO has 15 Marines, 2 Siege Tanks, 1 Viking, 13 Marauders, but at this point, GoOdy having the smaller force, but because of their upgrades that they do have, and because of the size and the factory units that he has, these biological units are going to take a lot of damage. LiquidTLO making yet another battle cruiser. Quite an interesting amount of production we see here. LiquidTLO at this point favoring the production of these Marauders. Quite a bit of barracks. Wow, look at how many barracks. How many do we have here? Let's use counting in numbers. 3, 6, 7. 7. My oh my, people. That's quite a bit. Another battle cruiser here. Not much defense on it. He's going to do his best to try to deal as much damage as possible to that siege tank. Siege tank does come down. And another push here by GoOdy, fending off here. He also has a planetary fortress in the exact, like, what is that? Cross position. And TLO mining here. He's pretty much mined out everywhere else. So this is where he's going to need to put his force to defend. If these expansions come down, TLO is going to be in a bit of a situation. Down here comes another force from GoOdy. What will he be doing? He's going to be able to pick off that medevac. So TLO does know that this push is coming. For some reason, stim packing those Marines, I don't know, that might have been a little bit of a mistake. These siege tanks not able to get off much damage before quickly being taken down. 3 siege tanks not being focus fired down, going to be able to do a good amount of damage against GoOdy's army. But these Vikings, no anti-air really for LiquidTLO, so he's not going to be able to do much damage. And here, LiquidTLO's army getting fairly decimated fairly quickly, finally landing these Vikings to be able to do a little bit more damage. And LiquidTLO, poor Marauder, all left alone. Oh, he does get 1 kill before he dies. Poor guy. But this planetary fortress may come down, and we see that the siege range will be able to do a amazing amount of damage. These, how many? 3 siege tanks going to be able to do a good amount of damage versus this planetary fortress. Now, the planetary fortress range is very small, so these swords are going to be able to hit him. The range on them is mainly for melee units for early pushes, like with Zerglings or Zealots trying to come in and harass those expansions. Very busy expansion down here. This is pretty much, with the amount of workers he has and only 2 mining bases, no wonder there's so many SCVs at one base. Healing up the or repairing these Vikings here, he's going to have the disadvantage of the repairing and the missile turret here. TLO pretty much doing everything he can. He's been hanging on to this game pretty much by the skin of his teeth. TLO under a lot of pressure. Not much he can do to get back into this game. See the income now. The income drastically higher. 48 SCVs for LiquidTLO, 89 for GoOdy, and GoOdy having the better mining for both the minerals and Vespian gas. Not healing up this battlecruiser, he's probably saving all the minerals he can to get up this army, and GoOdy, or Goody, whatever one it may be, has this expansion up here, not mining. He could do a worker transfer because we see how many pages worth? 2 pages and worth of, I don't know what they're called, 2 pages is what I'm going to call them, of workers here. It's a lot of workers. For some reason, here we go. Going into a planetary fortress and the transfer probably from this expansion down here into a planetary fortress. GoOdy probably just wants to stay safe and secure in the leading position that he's currently in. LiquidTLO not exactly going for the control of the center of the map. He's just spacing out his units, and here comes a little bit of a harassment down here from GoOdy with these Hellions, able to knock out a few of these workers. We can see that it's 45 SCVs to 87. GoOdy definitely having the advantage here, putting TLO in a bit of more of a situation he probably wants to be, and TLO in a very tough spot here. Still very factory heavy. We're not seeing non-factory units from GoOdy. GoOdy, wow, needs to have that extra production. GoOdy making a move in here. Few Vikings out here, but not going to be doing anything. And all these biological units, I fear that they're all going to get knocked out here by these siege tanks. So many siege tanks all going into siege mode. Going to deal a good amount of damage, but with the splash damage, do a little bit of damage to his own units, but not much. Moving in again. This siege tank here, poor lonely siege tank, taking just a little bit of damage, and so many siege tanks. LiquidTLO is not going to be able to hold on much longer. TLO having to pull back so many times. He's going to be in his base if he continues to pull back. That's not going to be good. He has to hold off for just a little longer. And Hellions, will they get up here? And one will get up here. See that there's a barracks here. He will see, wow, quite a bit of mining going on up here. I think this is TLO's only mining base except for the one down here, which is very vulnerable. GoOdy making a push. LiquidTLO taking a huge amount of damage. TLO even having one SCV in there, tanking quickly and oh my, GG from LiquidTLO. That's right, GoOdy taking this game. TLO taking a loss to GoOdy or Goody. I don't know. Tell me in a comment what his real pronunciation is. Goody or GoOdy. Option 1 is GoOdy. Option 2 is Goody. So tell me that. That would be very nice for future games I cast. And you can find me at youtube.com/scbrandmatt. Brandmatt is spelled BRANMATT. You can also check out my email. Well, you can't really check that out, but you can email me replays. Please email me the replays in StarCraft 2 replay format .sc2replay or to a website like sc2replay.com where I can download it, secure sites like that. scbrandmatt at brandmattmail.tk, BRANMATT. Those will both be in the description. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. youtube.com/scbrandmatt. I'll see you there. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Brandmatt signing out.